Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, we are going to learn about the introduction to C programming language. So this is the first video of the C programming language. So in the further videos, we will know in depth about the C programming. Okay. So now in this video, we are going to know the introduction to C language, that is the history, structure of the C language, and about the basics of the C programming language. Okay. So what is the need of the C language here? First of all, what is the need of the language here? Okay, so normally if two persons wants to communicate with each other, so they will communicate by using the language that they both know commonly, right? The common language. So they will talk in the common language that they both are aware of, right? So here the two persons are communicating with the common language that they know. Similarly here, if a person wants to communicate with the computer, how he can communicate? Okay, so for that we are using the some programming languages to communicate with the system. Okay, a human being can interact with the computer using the programming languages. Okay, so here the C language is the basic programming language. So if you want to learn any programming language, so this is the basic thing. Okay, so here a computer is a machine that accepts, stores, processes the data and produces the results accurately as instructed by a program. So to write programs, some languages are required. Okay, so many languages are existing in this computer era. So here the C programming is the basic language that we have to know before going to know the remaining programming languages. So now first of all, so let us know about the history of the C language. So why we are calling it as a C programming language? So C language was derived from the earlier language, that is B. Okay, it has derived from the earlier language B. So simple thing. So C language was derived because of the earlier programming language, that is B. So B means here, so basic combined programming language. So this is the ancestor of the C programming language. So after the C language, after the BCPL language, C language was invented. So that's why the name is C language for this particular language. So BCPL was derived from the ALGOL. So ALGOL is the ancestor of the BCPL language. Okay, so the full form of ALGOL is algorithmic language. So the name C is given to this language because it was derived from its ancestor B. Okay, so C is a programming language which is born at AT&T Bell Laboratory of USA in 1972, because it intended for its use in the Unix operating system. Okay, so it is born at AT&T's Bell Laboratory of USA in 1972, and the main purpose is to work on the Unix operating system, and it is a general purpose programming language. So it is closely associated with the Unix system. Okay, so the language is not tied up to any operating system or machine. So it is a system programming language and useful for writing compilers and OS. Okay, it is not only made particularly for the Unix system, and it can run on any of the operating system. Okay, so it is basically useful for writing compilers and operating system. It is useful to write major programs in many different fields. So C language was created for designing the Unix OS. So its use quickly spread beyond Bell Labs in the late 70s because of its powerful features. So coming to the importance of the C programming language. So the C language has gained its importance due to its unique characteristics. So when compared to other languages, it is having the very good advantages compared to the remaining languages. So let us see the features of C language that brings the importance as a unique language. So that is the first one is general purpose programming language, middle level language, structured programming, simplicity, portability, flexibility, modularity, efficient computation and execution, easy debugging, memory management, recursion, a rich set of library functions and expandability. So these are some of the importance of the C language. Okay, so let us go in detail about this language. So first is it is a general purpose programming language. So why we are calling it as general purpose programming language means it is suitable to write system programs like OS, compilers, loaders, linkers, and also to write application programs like payroll systems, inventory systems, banking systems, and email systems, etc. So it is useful for both system programming applications and system programs and application programs. So next coming to it is a middle level language. So middle level means it provides both the features of the high level language and assembly language. Okay. So next one is a structured programming language. Structured programming. So using the C programming language, the programs can be easily divided into number of modules with a single entry and single exit features provided by the various control and loop statement. Okay, so here the C program is divided into multiple number of modules by using the functions. Okay, and it is having only single entry and exit sections with the various control and loop statements. Right. So next one is the simplicity. So C is a simple language to structured approach. Okay, so what is called as a structured approach here means, so here if you so here I am taking a simple program that is a main, so printf hello. Okay, so this is a simple program I am taking. Okay, so here it is a structured programming language. So here main is the function. So if you take a program, there will be multiple number of functions and each and every module. So here if you consider the module main function as a module, each and every module is having only one entry and one exit here, right? And it supports various loop statements like for loop, while loop, and some statements like if, switch, do while. So like this it is going to support different type of loop statements. So that's why it is this called as a structured programming language. So next one is the portability. So C programs can be run on different environments. So portable means that a C program is written for one computer system and can be compiled and run on another computer system. Suppose I am writing a program on the IBM PC and I can compile this same program on a DEC VAC system or any Windows system. Okay, that depends on the compilers. So we can write a program in one type of system and we can execute it in the another system. That is called as a portability. So C program can run on different environments with compilers for almost all OS and hardware platforms. So it is easy to write code on one system which can be easily ported to another. So next one is the flexibility. C language combines the convenience and portable nature of a high level language with the flexibility of low level language. So we have already discussed that. So C language is a middle level language. That means it is a combination of both high level and assembly level language. Okay, and it can be interfaced readily to other programming languages. The next one is efficient computation and execution. The process of compilation and execution of programs is quite fast in C language compared to other languages like BASIC and Fortran languages. And next one is the modularity. So C language programs can be divided into small modules with the help of a feature called functions. So that one thing we have already discussed, right, in the structured programming. So C program will be divided into multiple number of functions and loop statements. Okay, and easy debugging. So debugging means finding the errors. Okay, finding the errors by the user only. The syntax errors can be easily detected by the C compiler. The error is displayed with the line number of the code. So if you are executing a program, so if you click the debugging option in the Turbo C, it will check all the lines and it will display in which line there is a error. So that is the easy debugging. So next one is a memory management. So various memory management built-in functions are available in C language, which helps to save the memory and hence improve efficiency of the program. So some of the functions that allow the memory management is malloc, calloc and realloc. Okay, malloc, callocation and reallocations. So these are some of the memory management functions, inbuilt functions. Okay. So next one is recursion. C supports the recursion, and recursion is a technique which the function calls itself again and again until a condition is satisfied. And it is a rich set of library functions. So these are the functions that provide ready-made functionality to users, and it also supports the graphic programming. Okay, so it has a set of library functions. Suppose if we take the stdio.h, okay, which is in the header file. So this library function supports the standard input output for the given program. Okay, and if you take the conio.h, so this is the header file that supports the printf and scanf functions in the program. The next one is the expandability. User can write his own functions and can add them to C language, so others can use them in their programs. So hence C can be expanded like a ocean. Okay, so this is the importance of C language. So next, coming to the structure of C language. So we are having the documentation section, link section and definition section. Okay, so documentation section. So in the documentation section, so you can include the so here in the case of C language, we are going to represent the comments with the and asterisk followed by backslash. So the comment starts with the backslash followed by asterisk. So multiple line of comments we can give using this statement. And if you are going to comment the line with a single line, then we can use the double backslash. Okay, so here in the documentation section, so before the header files you can include the documentation section. Okay, so you can write the author name, the particular program name, and what is the use of the program. So like that we can write in the documentation section. So next one is the link section. So generally the link section includes the header files. Okay, so here it includes the include stdio.h. That is a standard input output header file. And the next one is the definition section. Okay, so here in this definition section we are going to define the variables of the C language. Okay, so in the definition section we are going to declare the variables and initialize them using the hash define. Okay, so here, so next one is the global declaration section. So the variables used throughout the program are declared in the global declaration and definition section. So it is a part of the definition section. So here we are declaring that total is equals to 0 in the given program. And the next one is the function declaration section. So in this section, the user defined functions are declared. So for example, if we take here int sum of int comma int. So function prototype gives much information about a function like return type, parameter names used inside the function. So here the syntax is return type and function name. So here the return type is integer return type and the function is sum of int comma int. Okay, so here we are having the parameter names inside the function, that is int comma int. So next one is the main function. So here main function is the next one. So here in every C program starts from the main function, and this function contains two major sections called declaration section and executable section. Okay, so here in the declaration section all the variables are declared in the declaration section, and in the case of the executable section the main code that has to be executed for the program. Suppose I'm running a program with I'm running a program of sum of two numbers. Then so in the declaration part we are having the int x comma y, and in the execution part we are performing the sum of the two numbers, right? So this is the sum of the two numbers. So next one is so here we are declaring the variables x comma y, and the execution section will start from here. So this is a basic program to add two numbers. So here we are taking x, we are assigning the values x with the 1 and y with 8, and total equals sum of x comma y. So when this function is called, then the control passes to the sum of x comma y. Okay, sorry, sum of x comma y, that is the int space sum of a comma b. So this is the user defined function. So here we are going to declare a local variable s, and for this we are going in the local variable s we are going to add the two numbers. Okay, so when this user defined function, so here this is the user defined function, that means a user can define his own functions in this section which will perform particular task as per the user requirement. Okay, so now the variables are passed from x to a and y to b, and the sum will be performed here. So this is the basic C programming language and how the structure of the C language will exist. Okay, and next coming to the compilation of the C programming language. Okay, the execution of the C language. So when developing a program in a compiled language such as C, it requires at least 4 steps, that is editing, compiling, linking and executing. So in the section of editing, so we are going to, for the turbo C, we are going to use the command tc space filename.c in the DOS prompt. Okay, so first of all, to edit a program, so write the C program using the text editor such as Notepad or Turbo C editor, and then save the program with an extension .c. Okay, and then file saved with the .c extension is called as a source program. So now in the previous thing we have seen the sum of the two numbers. Okay, now we are going to perform the sum of the two numbers with this. So I am going to create a program with the sum.c when the program is written in the Turbo C editor. Then in the compiling, okay, so the source program with an extension .c is given as input to the compiler. The compiler will check for the errors. If the source code contains errors, then go to the editing and modify the source program. If the source code is error free, then compiler converts it into object file. So it will convert it into object file with an extension .obj. Okay, so while after editing the program is ready, right? So that's why it is with the source file .c, that is sum.c. So after compiling, that means here the source program is converted to object code. Okay, so if there is any error, it will check and it will again after editing it will go to the linking section. Okay, so next one, linking. So this process is inbuilt and it comes with the Turbo C compiler. So object program with an extension .obj is given as input to the linker, and linker checks for the errors here. So if there is any error, then again go to the first step, that is the editing. Okay, to modify the source program. So if the object code is free, then the linker will convert the .obj file into executable file here. So it will convert the .obj file into executable file with an extension .exe. Okay, so here the sum.c, the program sum of two numbers will become sum.c, and here the sum.obj, that means after compilation it will become the object file, and so here it will become executable file, that is sum.exe. Okay, so executable file .exe is run at DOS prompt or by GUI of the Turbo C compiler. So if any runtime error occurs, then go to step 1 to modify the source program. If there is no runtime error, then the output will be displayed to the user and the program is successful. So if there is no error, then the program is successful and the the result is displayed on the screen, output screen. So this is about the execution of the C program. So in this video, the basic introduction of the C program, I have learned about the structure of the C program, history of C programming language, and the execution of the C program. So thanks for watching my video. Thank you.